Namaste, dear friends, and a very warm welcome to Shine Your Light the Sattvic way. सात्विक का अर्थ क्या है? सत्य के तत्व से भरपूर. Satya is a sacred divine energy, and to increase your sattvic energy and live a sattvic lifestyle is to become more enlightened. Of late, even science has begun to appreciate the importance of gut health and has found the cause of many diseases in stress, poor eating habits, and other lifestyle issues. It is believed that a sattvic diet makes our body, mind, and intellect sattvic, helps maintain emotional and intellectual equilibrium, and think positively. So, the question, my friends, is can the revival of the ancient Indian sattvic lifestyle usher in an era of health and happiness for mankind? What role does sattvic food play in this? Is it possible to live a sattvic life in this modern era? Today, we bring to you the torchbearer of this movement in India, Subah Saraf, to answer all of these questions and many more. Hi, Subah.
Hi Sunira, thank you for having me with you.
We're really privileged to have you here with us today. At this young age, Subah has profound learnings for all of us. She discovered the healing powers of Mother Nature after curing her own major health problems, including thyroid and PCOD. And now Subah has made this part of her life's purpose to share this knowledge amongst all. Her quest to heal those around her has brought her to the Hippocrates Health Institute of Florida, where she became a certified health educator. Subah is a beacon of light in the plant based lifestyle movement, teaching people how to cure themselves with food without medicine. This dynamic young woman has already established herself as a sought after wellness speaker and educator, having 2 million followers. Subha is certified in mastery and gourmet raw vegan cuisine, and she has an intuitive ability to create amazing, cutting edge recipes. Subha is also an author of a popular book, The Sattvic Food. Her YouTube channel, Sattvic Movement, beautifully merges her love for truth and her gift of communication. She posts new videos every month that include education, recipes, and inspiration on how to be the best version of yourself. In conversation with Subha, we have with us Shraddha Saraf, our vice chairperson, a fashion designer who also hosts luxury events. Shraddha also uses the principles of Sattvic life and has found great benefit in the same. Hi, Shraddha.
Hi, Sunita. Hi, Subah. Thank
I
you.
invite you to take this
Hello.
forward from here, both of you.
So, good afternoon, friends. And hi, Subah. A very warm welcome to you. It surely is wonderful to have you with us.
Good
Subah,
afternoon.
absolutely. Subah, I must tell you, I first chanced upon your detox video on YouTube about a year and a half ago, much before I actually got to know you. And every time I hear or see your videos, even now, I'm amazed at the fact how truly connected you are to nature and the cause at this very young age. You are definitely an inspiration to me, and the 1.3 million YouTube subscribers endorse the fact that I'm not alone. So, among the many things I've heard, one of the things I like is that what you say is practical, doable, and yet life changing. The Sattvic way of living. What does that truly mean? Can you please highlight one of the most important principles of the Sattvic movement?
Of course. Before we begin with the most important principle of Sattvic movement today, as Shraddha asked, I'd like to express my deepest gratitude to every single one of you listening to this today. I'd like to thank the Flow community for having me. It's truly my honor and my privilege to be sharing the learnings that I have had from my masters, from my gurus today with all of you. Before we move ahead, I'd like to quickly express gratitude to God for giving me this opportunity and asking Him for strength and blessings to help us follow this Sattvic path that we're going to um, talk about today. So I'd like to request you all, wherever you are, will quickly chant the Hare Krishna mantra. No matter which God you believe in, एक बारी हम सब आंखें बंद करके उनका नाम लेते हैं और दिल से उनको धन्यवाद बोलते हैं. So if you want, you can repeat after me. या फिर आप जिस भी भगवान में विश्वास करते हैं उनको एक बार थैंक यू बोलते हैं. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, everyone. We can now move on to the question that was asked, that what is the most important principle of the Sattvic philosophy today? So there are many learnings that I'd received from my gurus, from my master, when I started walking on this path of health and healing. And one of the biggest learnings, or something that was very, very new to me, was the power of fasting. So, how many of you know, or how many of you have already experienced the power of fasting? You can tell us in the chat box. Have you ever fasted in your life for more than one day? You can share with us. Okay, so some of you have, whereas some of you may still come across its power. So, fasting is one principle that is nature's supreme medicine. It is one of the best gifts given to us by Mother Nature. And it is also one of the easiest things that we could incorporate in our lives, the power of fasting. Because the only thing you have to do is to not do anything. Before we understand what exactly fasting means, we need to understand one important concept. When you break a bone or when you get a cut on your skin, what do? Usually we go to the doctor and the doctor places a plaster on our broken bone, right? What does the plaster do? The plaster keeps that broken bone fixed into one place. And after a few days, that big broken bone automatically rejoins itself back together. It's not like there's some medicine in that plaster, is it? So, what is that power that fixes that big broken bone? It's our healing power. In Hindi, this healing power is also called Pran Shakti. So, this Pran Shakti is the healing power, the doctor sitting inside each one of your bodies. Same way, if you get a cut on your skin today, even if you don't put a band-aid on it, after a few days, what will happen? The cut will automatically join itself back together. What is that power through which that broken bone, that cut, joins itself back together? It's your healing power. This healing power is an enormous, magnificent force of Mother Nature sitting inside your body. It is the innate healing ability, the innate doctor sitting inside our body. The best doctor in the world is not sitting in a pill or a vaccine or a serum or a drug or a medicine. The best doctor in the world is actually sitting inside each one of your bodies. What is fasting? Fasting is nothing but a way to let that doctor do its work. Let's understand how this happens. This Pran Shakti that is sitting inside us, it's not only doing one thing. It at all times is engaged in two things. Two things that take the most amount of Pran Shakti are healing and also the process of digestion. When we eat something, as soon as something comes into our body, this Pran Shakti inside you, it stops healing and it shifts focus onto completely breaking down and eliminating the food. So Pran Shakti can't do both things at once. It can't heal and digest at the same time. It can either heal or it can digest. So when we fast, what are we doing? We are focusing energy onto healing by removing energy from digestion. In today's day and age, we see that we're all the time eating. We wake up in the morning, for breakfast, we eat 3 slices of toast. Before that gets digested, we put in a bowl of rice for lunch. Before that gets digested, we put in two chapatis for dinner. So 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, your body is only digesting, 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 digesting. It's no surprise that it won't get a chance to heal. It won't get a chance to do the repairing work. It won't get a chance to cleanse inside, to maintain hygiene inside. So when we fast, we take away energy, we take away Pran Shakti from digestion and focus it onto healing. A good way to understand this would be when imagine there's a road and there is some repair work that needs to be done on the road. If you need to do some repair work on the road, what is the first thing that you will need to do? What do you think? You'll need to stop the cars from coming, isn't it? If the cars keep coming and coming, will the workman be able to do the repair work? No. Same happens inside our body. If we want this Pran Shakti to engage in internal cleansing, in maintaining good health, we have to from time to time stop the cars, stop the food from coming. Fasting, today we think it's something new, but actually it's an age-old science. It was given in all our scriptures, all our Vedas. Today we look at terms like intermittent fasting, or we think that it's something new or something we shouldn't do. Think about it. Every religion, every um, every religious philosophy is so different from each other, isn't it? The practices, the beliefs, the rituals. Yet, there is one thing which every single religion has told us to do, and that is fasting. If we look at Hinduism, there's a reason why our ancestors told us to fast for 9 days every Navratri twice a year. There's a reason why they tell us to fast every 2 weeks for Ekadashi, which is today. There's a reason why in the Jain culture, they are told not to eat anything after sunset and anything before sunrise and fast from sunset to sunrise every day. There's a reason why fasting is such a big part of Buddhism, why Lord Jesus told us to fast on every 7th day of Sabbath. So many different philosophies, yet one thing that binds all of them, one thing that's common amongst all of them, fasting. Why? Because our ancestors knew that if we want to maintain health, in our body, in our mind, and in our spirit, we must from time to time stop eating. We must from time to time give our digestion a break. Otherwise, what happens? All the time, our stomach, our intestines, all the body parts are busy in digesting, processing, busy working all the time. Imagine if you have a worker, an employee, and if you're giving him work all the time, even at night he's working, what will happen? After a few days of not getting rest, he'll get tired and he will stop working. He will leave you. Same happens with our organs. If we don't give them rest from time to time, they get tired. They leave us. They become diseased. If we keep giving them rest from time to time, they stay happy, they stay healthy. It's as simple as that. Not only religions, even if you look at the biggest laboratory in the world, what is the biggest laboratory in the world? The entire animal kingdom. They fast from time to time. I have a dog at home. Every time he gets a fever, you know what's the first thing he starts doing? No matter what we give him, even if we put his favorite food in front of him, he won't even look at it. He won't even look at it. He won't sniff it. What will he do? He will go sit in a corner of the house and stay sitting there for 2, 3, 4 days. He'll come to the kitchen, sip little bit of water, sip by sip, go back, rest, but won't eat, no matter what happens. After 3, 4 days, little by little by little by little, he'll start eating. And his fever is gone without medicine, without any vaccines or drugs. So the entire animal kingdom actually knows how to do this. They are blessed with an intelligence that unfortunately somewhere we have lost today. And the benefits, before we move on to exactly how should we fast, let's talk about what are some of the benefits of fasting. When this pran shakti inside us stops digesting and starts healing, what does it really do in the healing state? Any toxins that are stuck inside our body, any waste that is stuck, undigested food that, most of us have undigested food sitting inside our bodies from years ago. The burger or the pizza that we ate 5 years ago may still be sitting inside our bodies. When we fast, our pran shakti gets a chance to take out all of that, to release all of that. So it's a deep detoxification for the body. Fasting is one of the best ways to eliminate poisons, eliminate toxins from the body. And what we have learned from our masters, from our gurus, is that every disease in the world happens because of toxins in the body. If our body is clean from inside, we'll automatically be free of disease. We'll automatically be healthy, happy, bustling with energy and happiness. So fasting is one way to eliminate toxins from the body. When toxins are eliminated, what will happen? Number one, our weight will automatically come back to its optimal measure. If you're suffering from excess weight, from obesity, it will automatically start to reduce. Fasting is one of the safest, the best ways to get rid of excess weight. When the toxins start to release from our body due to fasting, our skin will start to become better. Any acne, spots, psoriasis, eczema, skin problems will automatically start to vanish away in a few days. Not only our body, fasting also has a big impact on our mind. When we clear this up, this automatically starts to clear out. If you do a 3-day fast, 3 day of only drinking liquids, you'll see your thoughts will change. From negative tamasic thoughts, we'll start to experience a lot of positive good thoughts, because our mind also starts to get cleared. Lots of people who are doing exercise or yoga regularly, they tell us that after a fast, they actually experience increased flexibility in the body. The body becomes much lighter. So there are many, many benefits of fasting. And of course, last but not the least, the spiritual development that takes place when we fast. That is the reason why all our scriptures, all our Vedas have told us to fast because it's essential for spiritual growth. So now that we know a bit about the benefits and the importance of fasting, we may question, but how exactly do we fast? What is fasting? And how do we make it practical for ourselves, isn't it? In today's day and age, we see lots of people feasting in the name of fasting. कुट्टू के आटे के पकौड़े, कुट्टू की रोटी, साबूदाना की खिचड़ी, साबूदाना के पकौड़े, लड्डू, पता नहीं क्या क्या फास्टिंग के नाम पे हम खाने लगे हैं. The other day I was out in some uh, outside a restaurant, and there was a big placard, a big banner, which said fasting thali. It was Navratri going on. And I was just asking my mom, when did things change so much? Why do people do this? And that's when she explained to me that whenever we want to suit our taste buds, our senses, we twist the laws. We twist what our Vedas have given us. So, what is happening today in the name of fasting is not fasting. True fasting means abstaining from food for a long period of time. What we're doing today in the name of fasting is actually quite dangerous. We're eating even heavier foods than our day to day life. All this sabudana and all this stuff is actually even heavier than the usual roti chawal we eat every day. True fasting means when we don't have any solid food for a extended period of time. Now, many of you listening to this may be feeling, okay, but I don't know how to fast. I feel gastric issues when I fast. It doesn't make me feel energetic. I feel low on energy. It's too difficult. I can't do it. I don't have so much self control. And for all of you, I'd like to share one of the easiest ways to fast. Easiest ways to fast. Especially today when we're all sitting at our homes. Would you like to know what it is? Simply eat your dinner before 6 p.m. and don't eat anything till 10 o'clock the next morning. Dinner before 6 and nothing before 10. Automatically, what will happen? Your body is fasting for 16 hours every night. If we are eating at 9 o'clock at night, then we're not getting any benefit of fasting. But if we're eating at 6 o'clock in the evening, we automatically, our bodies will be fasting throughout the night. What can you consume in those 16 hours? You can consume normal drinking water, you can consume coconut water, you can consume any fresh vegetable juices, you can consume ashgard juice, cucumber juice if you want. But no tea, no coffee, no fruit juice, no milk, no fruit, no soups. That will take away from your fasting. This is the most easiest way to fast. So, when we keep doing this for some number of days, in the beginning it may feel a little hard, but as we keep doing it after a week, you'll feel that it has become a culture in your life. And also, I'd like to share with you, don't try to do it alone. Get your family also to do it. When a family does it with us, it becomes much easier. So inspire your whoever is staying with you at home to also adopt this habit. If you think about it, this was the rule, this was the norm a couple of decades ago. There was no culture of eating late at night. All our munis, all our saints, uh, our ancestors used to be proponents of eating early. So you'll see in the morning you'll have a lot more mental clarity. You'll wake up feeling extremely energetic. You won't feel full and lazy all the time in the morning through
Subha,
16 hours of fasting.
Subha, I wanted to ask you, is it okay to take kadhas during the before we break the fast? You mentioned about some coconut water and other stuff.
We recommend one of the best ways to uh, break the fast, or even before breaking the fast, you can take ashgard juice. That's one of the most detoxifying juices in nature. So imagine uh, your pran shakti working inside your body. It's pulling out all the toxins, it's healing your body, it's taking out all the waste sitting from many years ago, pushing it out, making you feel energetic, light, fresh. It's doing all this work. And then some ashgard juice comes inside your body. It says to your pran shakti, hey pran shakti, can I help you in your work? Can I help you in your cleaning? And then the pran shakti and the ashgard juice work together and do the cleaning. Same with coconut water. So these we have identified ashgard juice, coconut water. These are very sattvic in nature, and these actually assist the pran shakti to do its work better. So how many of you are inspired to fast for 16 hours? How many of you think that you can incorporate this law from today, maybe eating your dinner before 6 p.m.?
Surely try.
Wonderful.
So yeah, 16 hours of fasting seems a lot, but taking out the 7 to 8 hours of sleeping time suddenly makes it seem very doable. And especially after hearing the health benefits, I'm sure most of us would like to give it a shot. And I, for one, can vouch for the benefits as I have been following it for some time now, and the benefits are immense, honestly. So, after fasting for 16 hours, breaking the fast with your ashgard juice, I think the ashgard juice in Calcutta is called chal kumra for all the viewers, and it leaves us with only 8 hours to eat. So, can you tell us, Subha, what should we be ideally eating now in those 8 hours, and how long should the gaps be between the meals so as not to undo the benefits of fasting? Can you please explain that?
That's a very, very good question. Okay, we'll start fasting for 16 hours, but what do we eat in the remaining 8 hours to not undo the benefits of fasting? Wonderful. So, as our scriptures teach us, the Bhagavad Gita teaches us, our food can fall into three categories: sattva, rajas, and tamas. Our food can either be sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic. Before we understand what is sattvic, rajasic, tamasic food, let's understand what is sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. So, Bhagavad Gita explains us that every soul on this planet, whether it's a human or it's an animal, operates in three modes of material nature: sattva, which is the mode of goodness; rajas, which is the mode of passion; and tamas, which is the mode of ignorance. If you think about the story of Ramayana, Ravan had two brothers. Who were the two brothers? Vibhishan and Kumbhakaran. These three brothers are a perfect example of these three modes. Which mode do you think Ravan falls into? Extremely aggressive, wants to conquer the world, wants to become God himself. Absolute aggression. That is Rajas. When we have lot of passion, but passion to the extent it also brings attachment, desire, anger when we don't get it, brings a lot of frustration. When we're always angry, when we're always wanting more and more and more and more, that is when our rajas is high. What do you think Kumbhakaran falls into? Kumbhakaran, 6 months eating, 6 months sleeping, perfect example of tamas. Tamas is the mode of ignorance, absolute laziness, absolute inertia. Doesn't want to do anything, doesn't want to feel anything, nothing. Just wants to sleep all day, eat all day, nothing else in life is important. And Vibhishan, he was actually the brother of these two fellows, but ultimately, whose hands did he join? Ramji's hand. He wanted to give his life towards purity, towards service to others, towards helping others. That is the mode of sattva. Satvic is the mode of purity. And some characteristics of sattvikta are non-violence, surrender onto God, onto Mother Nature, no aggression, lot of calmness in the mind, lot of peacefulness in the mind. So everything can fall into these three categories. Our Vedas tell us not only food, even times of the day can fall into Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic. Morning time. What do you think morning time is most dominated by? If we ever want to do meditation or chanting, take God's name, we always think about doing it in the morning. So the morning hours are the most Sattvic times. If we want to work, go to office, when do we do that? Afternoon. So afternoon time is dominated by rajas. And if somebody wants to drink alcohol or have open a bottle of some alcohol, when does he do it? Definitely not early in the morning, usually at night. So night time is dominated by tamasikta. So not only people, not only times of the day, even our food can be sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. Now, what does sattvic food entail? So in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna tells us, Ayu sattva bal arogya sukh priti vivardhana rasya snigdha sthir hriday ahara satvik priya. What does that mean? Food which increases our ayu, food that increases our bal, increases our sukh is number one, rasya, full of juice, full of water. Number two, snigdha, it's wholesome in nature. Number three, sthir, it doesn't lift you up and suddenly dump you down like tea and coffee. And hriday, it means it's pleasing to the heart. So sattvic food, if we want to truly have sattvic characteristics in us, if we want to live life in the mode of goodness, in the mode of purity, we need to eat sattvic food. If you want to live life in the mode of ignorance, eat tamasic food. And if you want to live life in the mode of rajasikta, eat lots of rajasic food. Choice is ours. Our Vedas have told us nothing is right or wrong. They've given us the choice of living life. So sattvic food includes all sorts of fruits. The more juicy the fruit is, the more sattvic it is. Watermelon, melons, papayas, cucumbers, tomatoes, very, very sattvic. Everything that's wholesome in nature. So, for example, coconut instead of coconut oil, the full potato instead of potato chips, sugarcane or jaggery or dates instead of white sugar. That is sattvic. Sattvic food is living in nature. it is not dead food. It is food that has life. If you plant it in the ground, it should get a tree or a sapling after a few months or days. Do you think if you ever plant a cup of um, a soda bottle or a Maggi ka packet or any store bought noodles, you'll ever get a plant or a sapling out of it? No, because it's dead food. And if it can't create life outside us, it can't create life inside us. It only leads to disease and a slow death. So, Sattvic foods are foods that come straight from nature to our kitchen. If something is going from the farm to a factory and then coming to our kitchen, it's no longer Sattvic. Then it's become a product. It's become a dead product. We want to eat living food that's full of life because only food that has life will create life inside us. How can we expect to be living and healthy when we're eating all dead food all day long? We can't. Then, what is Rajasic food? Rajasic food is food that is extremely spicy in nature, extremely pungent in nature. Spices, too much salt, too much mirch, masala, all of this. This is Rajasic food. And Tamasic food, which is the lowest category, includes food that is absolutely stale, rotten, dead. And whether we like it or not, meat, fish, eggs, all of these fall in the Tamasic category of food. So we can choose what we want to eat. In terms of what is the time gap we should follow in between meals, now that we've learned these laws, let's learn how do we really apply it in our lives.
Subah, can I interrupt you once?
Of course.
So I want to just ask you that we've been hearing, and you also just said that, that previous day's food or basi food is tamasic in nature. However, of late, some claim that fermented food is good for you. Can you give your opinion on that, please?
Sure. So there is nothing wrong with fermented food. There's fermented food is not dead food. What our scriptures say, what the Bhagavad Gita says, is that if anything is cooked on fire, and after cooking on fire, it is kept for more than 3 hours, then it is considered tamasic. So when we ferment foods, if we're making sauerkraut or kimchi or batters, we are not cooking the dough before really making it. So that is okay to eat. But if we are cooking something and keeping it in a box or a tin or a fridge for 4 days, for months, then it is tamasic food.
Thank you.
So coming back to our gaps in the meal timings, we suggest that what should you eat? After 16 hours, the first thing that, in fact, after 14 hours only, you can have a glass of fresh juice. It could be ashgard juice, it could be coconut water. That's okay. So 2 hours before breaking your fast, have a big glass of juice. No problem. Your fasting will become much easier. Then after 16 hours, you can have a bowl of fresh fruit for breakfast. So if you're eating your last meal at 6 o'clock at night, what time do you have your first meal in the morning? 10 o'clock. If for some reason you've had to have your last meal at 7 o'clock at night, have your first meal at 11 o'clock in the morning. If you're eating even earlier, if you're eating at 5 o'clock, your dinner, have your first meal of the day at 9 o'clock in the morning. What's important is we maintain this 16-hour gap. This will allow us sufficient time to heal. So after those 16 hours, we take a fresh bowl of fruit. The best is to take any one fruit at a time, but if we don't feel satisfied by that, if we're not happy with that, You can mix 2 or 3 fruits, no problem. But fruits are also extremely cleansing in nature. Usually we eat paranthas, pakoras, and um, all sorts of idli, dosa, poha, upma, rava, this, that. Try making the switch for a week. Leave all of that and have only a bowl of fruit for breakfast, nothing else. No tea, no coffee, nothing. Just have as much fruit as you like. Have your favorite fruit. You want mango, have mango. You want papaya, have papaya. You want watermelon, have watermelon. Have any fruit you want. But have a big bowl of fruit, as much as you like. And after that, be satisfied till lunch. Don't eat anything till lunch. Your fasting will become even more effective. If you are suffering from a health problem, follow these 2 laws. Eat your dinner before 6 p.m. and eat at 10 a.m. a big bowl of fruit for breakfast only. In 3-4 months' time, you'll see your health problem vanishing away. Whether it's thyroid, whether it's diabetes, whether it's PCOD, whatever the health problem is, hypertension, high blood pressure, whatever it is, you will see it vanishing away. Your skin will start to glow. Any excess weight will go away. You'll feel so much more energetic because you're eating food that has life and you're letting your pran shakti do the work inside the body. Then when you feel hungry at 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, you have your lunch, and at 6 o'clock, you have your dinner.
Great. So some of the things you say echo the age-old wisdom of our nannies and dadis, and it's so good to understand the scientific reasoning behind things which we've always been hearing. So now, generally speaking, for most of us, healthy and nutritious food means it's not tasty. And for all the foodies out there who can't do without different cuisines like Thai, Chinese, Italian, and other stuff, what would their food options be? Is this practical for them? I mean, would they be really wanting to imbibe this in their diet? They would feel as if, eating fruits and vegetables is not something which is going to like satiate them. How would you feel that, you can make them change their habits?
Of course, this was exactly my question 4 years ago. My guru had taught me all these principles of Sattvic food, but I still felt that, oh my god, this is going to be so boring. And I don't want to make life boring. Life should be fun. Food should be fun.
Absolutely.
And that's when I decided to visit some of the best raw vegan health institutes around the world. And they taught how to make healthy food delicious. How do we make food that has life delicious? How do we make food delicious without cooking it? And over there we learned how can we make the best of the best dishes. Can you imagine having a cheesecake without sugar, without milk products, without flour? And yet there's no compromise on taste. Trust me, there's no compromise on taste. We wouldn't be telling you all of this if there was a compromise on taste. Can you imagine?
Vouch for it, and I know where you're coming from. It's just amazing.
So there are substitutes for everything. There are substitutes for everything in today's day and age. If not sugar, then what? Have what nature has given to you. Nature doesn't give us white sugar. She doesn't hang white sugar packets on trees. She hangs dates on trees. Have dates. You'll experience the best sweetness in your desserts, in your food. Nature doesn't give us all these white flowers and white maida and all these things. No. Nature gives us the whole wheat with the bran. She gives us the rice with the chilka, with the fiber. Eat that and nature will take care of you. When we eat according to the laws of nature, Mother Nature automatically takes care of our health. So in order to how can we make it practical, there is a book that we have. It's called the Sattvic Food book, which Sunira had also mentioned in the beginning. It comprises of about 50 recipes that are not only healing, not only healthy, but also taste absolutely delicious. Every recipe has been tested 30 to 40 times before bringing it onto you. You can imagine ice creams to cakes to the most tastiest salads without compromise on taste.
So yes, we all need to log into the different videos Subha has posted, and to see the yummy and healthy food that she's cooking. And honestly, it's the perfect time for us to try them out, as most of us have turned into master chefs in the last 3 months. So I'm just going to call Usha ji. She is the chairperson of the Hyderabad Flow chapter. Namaste, Usha ji. Hope you've been enjoying the event so far.
Yeah, very
Namaste.
nice. Namaste.
Thank you.
Namaste.
So I guess you have a question for Subha. So please
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, Shubha. Thank you so much. And you are looking very Sattvic. And, and you are the right ambassador for promoting Sattvic food. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Um, and actually, I want to thank Sunita because this is the very relevant and the right topic for the present situation. Thank you, Sunita, for calling me and making me to hear everything. Thank you so much. Subha, I have a question. I want to know. This is little related to scientific question. See, a Swedish medical university study shows that our body has ability to break down medicines that we consume, may be very closely related to our exposure to sunlight. And
So,
it may vary with exposure to sunlight. See, the medicine we are taking, our body has ability to break it down. It depends on the exposure to sunlight, our exposure to sunlight. And it may vary with the seasons also. So I want to understand what is the relation between the sunlight and the medicines. Can you relate it or can you elaborate it? There,
sure.
yeah.
So, when we say sunlight, sunlight is actually one of Mother Nature's angels that comes to earth to help us in everything, to help us nourish ourselves, to help us grow. We think that the medicine is doing the job, but it's actually the sunlight, which is the real medicine, going inside our body and doing the job. Sunlight is nature's most supreme medicine. In Germany, in World War One, do you know when the soldiers fighting used to get extremely injured, big wounds on their skin? There were no hospitals till miles away. They had to help their own friends. What did they do? They took the wound and they exposed the wound to sunlight. Within 4 to 5 days, the wound started to stitch itself back together. Do you know in Italy, throughout Italy, there was something called heliotherapy that was performed? There were hospitals in which there was no medicine, no drugs. There were only rooms which were full of sunlight, sunlit hospital rooms. And they noticed patients who were kept in sunlit hospital rooms healed thrice as faster as patients who were kept in rooms without sunlight. So, sunlight is a natural disinfectant. Sunlight is a natural Mother Nature's healer. We can see this for ourselves, how it is a disinfectant. When our grain, our rice, or our wheat in the kitchen catches a worm, or catches a smell, what do? We've learned from our grandmas that just उसको धूप दिखा दो, उसको सूर्य दिखा दो, स्मेल अपने आप चली जाएगी, उसमें जो भी फंगस वायरस आया है वो अपने आप चला जाएगा. So जब हम अपनी बॉडी को धूप दिखा देते हैं, when we expose our bodies to the sun, all kinds of impurities, whether it's toxic impurity, whether it's virus, whether it's fungus, whether it's mold, whether it's bacteria, it automatically starts to eliminate from our body. So sunlight is a natural disinfectant, it's a natural antiseptic, and it's also one of the best things that we can embrace in this pandemic today. We are all looking for sanitizers and this and that. We're forgetting that the best sanitizer is shining away inside our house through our windows. Sunlight. All we need to do is cherish and relish it. Just expose your body to the sun for 20 minutes every day, and that's the best medicine. Combine your food, fasting, and sunlight, you will have abundant health. You live till 100 years, and even when you live such a healthful life, full of bustling energy, full of happiness. So to answer your question, it's actually sunlight itself is a great medicine that has been gifted to us humans by Mother Nature, by Ma Prakriti. And when that falls upon our body, automatically all processes inside the body take place better, take place faster, and we heal much faster.
Yes. Yeah, nicely answered, Subah. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sunita.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So yes, coming back to our discussion, Subah, you've spoken about the health and healing benefits of fasting. So I would like you to elaborate on how fasting can help in curing diseases and treating health conditions. And especially since you spoke about the present times, I think this is something which all of us are wanting to know.
Of course. So as we spoke about, the best doctor on this planet, where is the best doctor on the planet sitting? Not in a pill, not in a medicine, not in a vaccine, not in a serum, not in something you apply on the skin or your hair. No. The best doctor on the planet is sitting right inside your body. Your healing power, your Pran Shakti. And when you fast, the Pran Shakti automatically starts doing all the repair work inside. If the Pran Shakti notices, oh, there's a problem in the pancreas, this person seems to have diabetes, the Pran Shakti will quickly go in the pancreas, fix whatever that is wrong, and come back. If the Pran Shakti notices there's a problem in the head, if the person is getting frequent migraines or headaches, Pran Shakti will go there, do its work in a few days or months, then come back. If the Pran Shakti notices there's a problem in the kidney or the gallbladder, Pran Shakti will go there, do its work, come back. But why doesn't the Pran Shakti do its work? Because we never stop eating. We keep eating. Pran Shakti always keeps digesting. It doesn't get the time to heal. When we start fasting, when we start giving our bodies breaks, Pran Shakti will go to different organs wherever there's an obstruction, wherever there's a blockage, wherever there is a disease, Pran Shakti will automatically cure it. Why do we have to bother? Leave it to Pran Shakti to cure us. We don't have to bother where the problem is, what the problem is called, what is the diagnostic, nothing. Pran Shakti will figure it out. Pran Shakti is Mother Nature's supreme energy that we've all been blessed with. So, fasting is precious for healing disease. Jesus Christ, in a book called Essene Gospel of Peace, written 2000 years ago, spoken by Lord Jesus, he says, unless you fast, you can never get rid of disease. Unless we fast, we can't hope to heal a disease. We can't hope to reverse a disease. Whereas fasting can reverse the biggest diseases, whether it's cancer, whether it's diabetes, whether it's hypothyroid, PCOD, liver problem, back problem, whatever. Fasting can cure it. There's so many researches, so many documentaries that are made in today's day and age on this subject. There's a documentary you can watch online, it's called Fasting. There's a documentary called Fat, Sick and Nearly Dead by a man called Joe Cross, who went for a 60-day juice fast, consumed nothing for 60 days but juices. He his life transformed completely. He weighed some 200 kgs and came down to a normal 60 kgs person in just a matter of a few days. So whether it's increasing health, whether it's reversing disease, we need to simply follow the simple law of nature. Give your body a rest, give your body a break for some time every night, and it will automatically do the healing work.
That's really wonderful insight as to how we can immunize and revitalize our bodies in the most natural way. So I think we're getting a lot of questions. So I see one question from Flo Endabad chapter. So it asks you, that she does 16 hours of fast from 8 p.m. to 12 noon, and how do you compare it to 6 p.m. to 10 a.m. Your views on that?
Definitely 6 p.m. to 10 a.m. is much better than 8 p.m. to 12 p.m. because the earlier you start your fast, the better. There's a simple law of nature. When the sun is at the highest, our digestive fire, our Jataragni, is at the highest. As the sun starts to go low, 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 our digestive fire starts to go low, 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 low. Now at 6 p.m., there's still some Jataragni, so we can digest food. At 9 o'clock at night, at 10 o'clock at night, even if you're doing 16-hour fasting, no use. Because digestive fire is extinguished.
So I see another question from Shruti Mala. She's saying, for a working woman doing a 9 to 5 job, is it advisable to fast for 16 hours? Need the energy to go on?
Of course. Actually, we usually think when we fast, we'll feel lethargic, we'll feel dull, we'll feel low on energy. But it's quite the opposite. This has been put into our brains. I don't know why, I don't know from where, but fasting actually makes you feel much more energetic than before. Fasting, in the beginning, maybe you feel low on energy because your pran shakti is fully engaged in healing. So less remains for doing other activities. But as you keep fasting, for after 1 month, your energy levels will definitely rise. Because when we keep eating all the time, pran shakti is busy in digestion. We feel lazy. So it is not right to think, it is not such that food gives us energy. No, that's a wrong logic. Food doesn't give us energy. If food really, अगर ऐसा होता कि हम खाते रहे और एनर्जी बढ़ती रहे, तो अगर हम शादी में जाके जब 3 छोला भटूरा खाते हैं, तो आने के बाद तो बहुत एनर्जेटिक फील होना चाहिए ना. But how do we feel? We feel lazy, we feel tired, we feel like we want to go to sleep right away. So the less you eat, the more energy you'll have. It's quite the opposite of what has been taught to us till now.
Absolutely. And we have another question popping up from Vandana Kejriwal. She asked, does having nuts, seeds or cinnamon water before the 16 hours of fast break the fast? So having it before, 16
Yes.
hours.
Nuts and seeds we should not have while our fast is going on. It definitely breaks our fast. What does it mean? It means that Pran Shakti will start focusing on your nut or your seed and will stop doing the healing work. Why let a nut or a seed bother your Pran Shakti? Simply forget it. Don't eat anything. If you want to have ashka juice, have coconut water. Keep it simple. Why complicate it with different kinds of herbs and this and that? Keep it simple.
Lovely. So we have another question. Manisha Srivastav asks, what is your opinion on milk and milk products?
Good question. And usually, this topic requires lots of time. In short, we can say milk is not wrong. Neither are milk products wrong. If they were wrong, they wouldn't have been propagated by our ancestors and our grandmoms and our grandfathers since so many years. Milk is not wrong. It's what we are drinking in the name of milk today that is wrong. In today's time and age, what we're getting today is not milk. We like to believe that it's coming from a happy farm where cows are treated nicely and they're happy roaming freely on grass, but that's quite the opposite of what's actually happening. What is actually happening today is that our milk is polluted, adulterated with excessive amounts of urea, chemicals. A lot, sometimes they even go to the extent of adding white paint to our milk. So, one aspect of why we don't recommend milk is that it's highly adulterated in today's day and age. And second is because the brutality towards cows. हमारे शास्त्र हमें बताते हैं कि अगर हमें दूध पीना है तो हमें गाय की सेवा करनी चाहिए. जब तक हम गाय की सेवा नहीं करते हमको उस दूध पीने का हक ही नहीं है. That's what our shastras teach us, what our scriptures teach us. If you have a cow at home who you're loving and serving, please have the milk. But if you're getting your milk from a cow you've never met, you've never seen in your life, whose name you don't know, then it's not yours to consume. Then you don't deserve it. So, in simple words, lots of bad things are happening to cows today. They're not being treated fairly. They're being abused and they're being really taken advantage of. And our scriptures teach us that गाय तो हमारी माता होती है. We should really be submissive towards her. We should be loving and caring towards her. What's going on is actually quite the opposite. So milk is not wrong. It's just what we're getting today in the name of milk that is wrong. And there are so many good substitutes today. There is something very simple. You can make it at your own home, less than 10 minutes, available to everyone. It's coconut milk. You can make it on at your own home. After a few days, it will become a culture in your kitchen. We make the best desserts, the best shakes, the best smoothies, the best soups, the best curries, the best everything using coconut milk instead of animal milk.
Amazing. Subha, you really need to share some of your recipes or tell the audience about where to go and look for them, because I've tried and I know how amazing everything comes out. So I think that's something you need to tell the audience.
Sure. So as I shared with all of you, there's a recipe book that we have. It's called the Sattvic Food book. It has lots of knowledge about food, and additional to that, it has 50 recipes that you can make with Indian ingredients. You'll find it on our website. It's called satvicmovement.org. SATVIC movement.org. And you'll see the ebook right there. Unfortunately, we don't have the physical book delivering right now, but you can instantly get the ebook and get cooking in your kitchen.
Lovely. Thank you for that. And we have another question. I'm sorry, I missed another question at the back. She was talking about trying to do the fast and what about gastric issues. And we have another question similar, which is by Rashmi Agarwal. I get a headache when I try to fast. Please advise.
Two very similar questions. When I try to fast, I get gastric pain, I get a headache. If you have been eating a lot, eating all your life without giving food to your system, this is bound to happen. It will happen for the first 4 days, for the first 3 or 4 days. But after that, it will start to vanish away. Because anything new that you're doing, your digestive system is really having to adapt to that new thing. So after a few days, the gas pain will go, the headache will go, and abundant energy will return. So just try it for 3 4 days and you'll see. For those 3 4 days, there is tolerance required for sure. It's difficult to continue your fast while you are facing so much pain. During that time, you can sip some water, you can sip some coconut water, some juices to ease your pain, to ease yourself. But continue your fast.
Great, thank you. And we have another question from Sandeep Vyas. So he asks you, how do I put on more muscles? I'm very careful with my diet, work out every day, hard at the gym, at my home.
How do you put on muscles? Simply by eating plants and working and exercising. If you look at the animals in the jungle, in the forest, which is the strongest animal? A gorilla, an ox. What do they eat? An elephant. They eat only plants, isn't it? So simply when we start to eat what they eat, we will get as strong as them. We don't need to go through an animal to get the energy that the animal got. We can simply get the energy directly from the plant. So by following all the different steps that we have shared, 16-hour fasting, eating Sattvic food, sunbathing, your body will automatically get into shape. And more important than building muscle is actually keeping the body clean from inside. We see maybe a person is bulky from the outside, full of muscle, but inside the entire body is wasting away. Inside there's all sorts of disease. Inside there's uneasiness. You can't sleep at night. What's the point? So, first focus on having a clean body from inside, having a toxin free body from inside, and then focus on shaping it up and getting muscular.
So I don't know how many questions we can take, but a quick question I'll take. So it's from Vidhi Balasarya. She asks you, how does one manage to follow all the 21 Sattvic food laws when living with non-Sattvic eaters in the family and having a hectic work or family life?
Very good question and a very, very valid question. This is one challenge that we ourselves face every day.
Absolutely.
So, one, uh, one thing that we should remember is two things actually. The first is if we have learned something, if we have gotten a knowledge, if God has sent a knowledge our way, it's not important that we must convince every person around us to follow it. We must convince our family and our spouse and our children and our parents to follow it. You share the knowledge with them, for sure, but we shouldn't enforce it upon them. We leave the decision onto them. If they want to follow, if they want to abide by this lifestyle, good. If they don't, that's even better, no problem. We ourselves have to be role models for them. When we set ourselves as role models, that's when they will follow. They won't follow when we keep talking about it. So something we have learned in our path, don't tell others about it. Show others. When they see so much difference in you, so much calmness, so much peacefulness in you, they will want to do what you're doing. When they see you unaffected by outside situations, your immunity is strong, they would want to follow. So you keep going strong. But your next question may be, I want to keep going strong, I want to be a role model, but how do I do that? I only get discouraged when I see them doing this. I only feel like eating and doing what they're doing. How do I stay strong? Let's understand how. The Bhagavad Gita teaches us that our senses are powerful. They're running after one thing or the other or the other or the other. Sometimes our tongue is demanding rasgulla, other times it's demanding gulab jamun. Our body is demanding sleep all the time. Every sense organ in the body, our eyes want to keep watching something or the other all the time. Every organ in the body is demanding something. They're running after objects, keep running here and there. How much can we control? Above the senses is what? Does anybody know what aspect of our being controls the senses? Our mind controls the senses, right? When we don't want to do something, or when we have the knowledge, the intelligence, we automatically won't feel like doing it. What controls the mind? Intelligence, buddhi controls the mind. So इंद्रिया के ऊपर हमारा मन, मन के ऊपर हमारी बुद्धि और बुद्धि के ऊपर नॉलेज, ज्ञान. अगर हमारे पास ज्ञान होगा तो ऑटोमेटिकली हमारे पास इंटेलिजेंस होगी, बुद्धि होगी. बुद्धि होगी तो मन नहीं करेगा, मन नहीं करेगा तो हमारी सेंसेस एक ना एक चीज के पीछे भागेंगी नहीं. So what is the practical solution? That keep giving knowledge to yourself. Keep yourself engaged in receiving this knowledge every day. 10 minutes every day. Keep involving yourself in this knowledge. Knowledge will give you the self-control. Knowledge will give you power to control your senses. You can't control your senses by keeping a stick on them all the time. No, that's temporary. When knowledge comes, senses automatically get controlled. And then you don't feel like running after one thing or the other. How many of you here don't smoke? Many of you, right? How many of you who don't smoke don't even feel like smoking? Many of you, probably all of you. But if you ask a smoker if he can leave smoking or live a life without smoking, will he say he can? No. He'll think you are also crazy. He'll convince you also to start smoking. So when we are living in a world, we can't imagine a world without it. But when we rise above it, we see that it was needless. I can live a much happier life without it. Then no convincing is needed by others. So to answer your question in brief, keep imparting knowledge of this. There's knowledge in our videos. That's what Sattvic movement is here for today. To keep giving you consistent knowledge through videos, through our workshops. There are many books that we suggest you to read in our workshops. Read 10 pages of those books every day, and you will stay motivated to follow this. And secondly, let's not try to enforce this on others. If they join us, good. If not, let's be role models for them.
Brilliantly answered, Subah. So just a last question I'll take before we want to wind up with a couple of things I still need to ask you. So one is from Sujata Ketan. She's asking, is it advisable for diabetics to fast 16 hours?
Oh, it's amazing. We can actually see drastic improvements in diabetes after 16-hour fasting. It's also very important that what we eat in those 8 hours is Satvic in nature. We have made videos about this. Go to our YouTube channel, Sattvic Movement, and watch the video on food and follow what is prescribed in that video. But fasting is very, very good for diabetics. Pran Shakti goes and clears out anything that's in the pancreas. And my father, in fact, he had been suffering from diabetes since the past 18 years of his life. 18 years with diabetes. Can you imagine? Taking pills every day, and every time he went to the doctor increased one more pill, one more tablet. And by the time he was towards the end, the doctor had told him, this is it. Next time, something worse will happen. You may have to get the legs amputated. So the disease keeps on rising as we keep taking on medicine, never reducing. When he started to follow this path of life, diabetes gone, fully gone in 3 months. He hasn't taken a medicine, a pill, or anything since the past 4 years. Never to come back again, permanently gone. We think it's impossible. We've seen it happen, and that's why we have decided to give our lives to it. It's so powerful, this knowledge. It can heal anything and everything. So, yeah, no matter what it is, fasting is possible, even in the case of diabetes.
Subha, I mean, you're like absolutely knowledgeable in every which way. And I mean, I keep saying at such a young age, because mostly all people your age are into everything else but even studying the scriptures, forget about following them. So we're really curious to know more about you. What inspired, what motivated you to start the Sattvic movement, a non-profit organization with the sole objective of serving and healing mankind? You really have come a long way in a very, very short time. Subha, please share your journey so far and your plans ahead.
Of course. So, uh, my journey started when I was myself suffering from many health problems. Till 4 years ago today, I was living a very, very different life. You won't believe, maybe, but I was having 7 different tablets every morning. My breakfast actually used to comprise of a handful of medicine. I was suffering from thyroid problem, from PCOD problem. Hair used to keep falling all day. I had half the amount of hair left on my head. I would excess weight. Skin was completely full of all kinds of skin problems. And I had accepted that this is what life will be. This is normal. It's happening to everyone around me. This is going to be normal. And I live my life eating these medicines. So what? Medicines are normal. Disease is normal. Doctors are normal. Hospitals are normal. Spending money on medicines is normal. This is what normal is. And then my father took me for a 4-day course, which was called Be Your Own Doctor course, where I met my guru for the very first time in my life. First day when I went for this course, I felt everything over there was abnormal. Everything was so opposite of what I'd been doing. Can you imagine living a life full of processed food and junk food and all kinds of bad things, and suddenly coming to a place where people are fasting and detoxing and cleansing? I felt I want to go home. And then after 3 days, after 4 days, when I really started to understand what Guruji is saying, what Acharyaji was teaching me, it started to make sense. By the fourth day, my father and I, both of us, were so convinced that if we want to heal ourselves, this is the path we want to follow. Went back home, we had a big medicine cabinet at home. The drawers were just full of medicine. We opened the drawers, we took out the medicines, and we trashed it all in the bin. And we told everyone in the family, we're going to heal ourselves. We're going to get rid of this diabetes and thyroid and PCOD. And everyone around us thought we were crazy. But we followed what Guruji had taught us, what our master had taught us. And after 3 months, we got our blood tests done. Every single thing was gone. And right now, it doesn't seem like a big deal. But back then, when we were suffering and everything gone in a matter of 3 months, we were like, we found a precious diamond. We found something so brilliant. Why aren't other people doing this? By following something for 3 months, you could get rid of something that was 18 years old. Why don't more people know about this science? And it was so simple. That's when we decided that maybe God has sent us on this planet to just do this. And now that we've received this knowledge, we can't stay with this knowledge. What good are we? What good human beings are we? We must share it. It's our responsibility to give back. And the greatest joy we get when we give back. So that's when we started this journey, and we truly feel that our only purpose in life is how do we serve others? How do we impart this beautiful knowledge of Mother Nature, of health and healing to others, healing through Mother Nature's way to others? And that's when we started Sattvic Movement, which is a non-profit organization, which means that it's a service oriented. The only purpose of this is to serve society, to serve humanity, to help them heal themselves without medicine, get rid of disease, and live a life full of health and happiness.
Subah, our very best wishes are with you. May you shine on and continue to help heal the world. It's just beautiful what you're doing.
Thank you so, so much.
Thank you. And let's get Sunira back as she too has a question for you.
Hi, Subha. That was really, really interesting. But I'm going to ask you a question a little bit on the lighter side. Subha, I believe your husband is as much a health freak as you are.
Yes.
So, thing with the Sattvic experience for everyone. We'd love to hear a little bit about how you planned your Sattvic wedding.
Sorry.
We want to hear a little bit about how you planned your Sattvic wedding.
Okay. Very, very interesting question. So, uh, Harsh, who's today my husband, I met him almost a year and a half ago, and he was running an institute in Bombay by the name of Vedari. So, of course, as you said, we had both devoted our lives towards health, towards helping society heal. And when we met each other, we instantly wanted to join hands to live life together. So when it came to our wedding, of course we couldn't have our wedding any other way. We couldn't not do what we preach. So we had to, of course, have food that was made without milk products, fully Sattvic food, without processed food, all whole food. And it was one of the most challenging things we've had to do, because there was no caterer who would agree on so many rules. I had written down 9 rules that the caterer should have to follow in order to uh, do the wedding. And every caterer, after looking at 5 rules, they used to turn their back and say, "Humse to nahi hoga." And then finally, we found somebody in Delhi who agreed to do it, and it was a fully vegan wedding, so fully a wedding without any milk products, cruelty free, and we wanted to also at the same time remember that this bond that Harsha and I were creating, it's very important that we always keep God in the center of whatever we do in life. So we uh, had a wedding right in front of our deities. We have Jagannath ji deities at home, so we actually brought him to the wedding, and the entire ceremonies were done by a Vedic manner. So the from the kirtan to the rituals, everything in a Vedic manner. So it was a lot of fun planning it and actually seeing it execute itself.
And I must say that it was superbly planned and the food was out of the world. And I happened to be there, and it was one of the most beautifully conducted weddings. Talk about the way the ceremonies were done or where the food was done. It was just beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Subha. In these times of distress caused by coronavirus, we at Flow Kolkata have decided to felicitate our guests with a donation towards free meals and food relief on their behalf. In this regard, we have chosen Akshay Patra to execute the same. Akshay Patra and their supporting organizations have so far served 6 crore free meals. As a small token of our gratitude, we'd like to felicitate you, Subha. A donation of 200 free meals for COVID relief has been made on your behalf.
Wow. Thank you so much to the entire Flow Kolkata team. It's truly a lot of gratitude to the entire team who has made this possible.
The pleasure is completely all ours. I now invite our Senior Vice Chair, Manjari Agarwal, to present a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Sunila. Hi, Shraddha. Hello, Subha. Thank you so much. I'd like to present a vote of thanks. You put the outside world inside you through your mouth. The choice is ours, and we decide to put in or out. Today's session has only reinstated how we ourselves are responsible for our health. Subha, your knowledge is immeasurable because you not only study it but practice it too. We thank you for imbibing this journey and then thereon sharing the knowledge that you have experienced, not only learned but experienced. And you took the courage to walk this path, which is absolutely different and takes a lot of strength to do. So thank you so much. You refer to the Gita's quite a bit and to our scriptures. So I really would like to recite two lines that I've been hearing a lot this entire lockdown. It's from the Hari Gita. It's at the point when Arjun replies to Krishna after listening to his speech.
I think her screen has frozen.
अच्युत कृपा से अब आपकी मोह सब जाता रहा संशय रहित हूँ सुधि मुझे आई अब करूँगा हरि कहा. So in this case आप अब करेंगे सुबह कहा. So I'd like to also take this opportunity to thank a lot of people who've been involved in this event. Firstly, to our lead sponsors, Victoria Vistas, our media partner, Sanmar, for your support. Gift partner, Print Factor. Technology partner is Ideation Technology Solutions. And our very own Shraddha Saraf for conducting this session so beautifully and with so much Satvikta as well. Thank you, Shraddha. And to Shweta Nathani for handling everything at the back end. It was so smooth and so calm at the same time. There was no hurry, nothing. And our past presidents, past chairs, and all our national past presidents who are here today, thank you for your support and guidance. And as always, our members for encouraging us to come up with new events and to helping us light the inner spark within you. Have a very good evening. Thank you. Thank you so much again.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah.